The very latest traffic alert and these major backups as the 60 shut down between the 101 and 10. So you're looking live right now at the traffic on the 101. That's one of the detours set up to try to get around all this. And Steve, it's just a mess out there. Who knows how long this is going to last?
Nobody really knows, Katie. ADOT and the city of Tempe saying they're not really sure exactly when this will all reopen, not giving any reopening date just yet or a timeline of when that could happen. And we want to show you why it shut down. You're looking at where a water pipe cracked about 20 feet underground, and now crews need to dig it up and replace it. Tempe city leaders say they're trying to speed up that process, trying to get a replacement part delivered here, but the road will need to be repaired, repaved, and then inspected. And during that process, the 60 will be shut down from the 101 to the I-10 in both directions. ADOT says the detours could add about 30 minutes to your drive, but it could be longer, obviously, during those busy morning and evening commutes. Now, the pipe that broke, that was made of steel, which is one of the newest types of pipes in the city. According to city data, it's the first water main break on a steel pipe. Steel pipes make up only about 30 miles of the 850 miles in city water lines. So, like taking a trip down to San Diego and back, much of this system was installed between about 1971 and 1990. And joining me now is ASU professor Sam Ariyaratnam, and an expert on some of these pipes and situations. You know, one of the interesting things we were talking about earlier is the fact that it's not just the pipe. They can repair and replace that pipe fairly quickly, but then they have to consider about what kind of damage this water has done in other places. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that's definitely a major consideration. And so the utility guys that are going out there and doing the forensic, it's trying to identify, where the break is and what type of break occurred during that. But then we had 8 million gallons of water come out, and so it's going to go underneath the roads, and what happens is it weakens that soil underneath the roads, and so they need to assess that what damage is actually done, to what extent that damage underground has been done, and before they can allow traffic to go on top of the surface.
And bad things can happen if they don't do that. I mean, you've seen things like sinkholes show up in roadways.
It doesn't take much to have a sinkhole. Even a 6-inch water main breaking can create a sinkhole that can swallow up a vehicle.
What does this say about our infrastructure? This was one of the newer pipes. It's supposed to last another 25 years, and yet we're dealing with one of these issues. Is that really that uncommon? People kind of think there's a lot of new stuff in Phoenix. Not necessarily true.
No, people have this misconception that, the Phoenix or the Valley is new. But it is. It isn't. It's been around for a while. I mean, it's older. So we have infrastructure that was put in over 100 years ago. So it's not just an issue that you would find in the East Coast, and that we need to be addressing our water infrastructure systems here as well.
Sam Ariyaratnam, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it, and thanks for your expertise. And, of course, we're going to stay on top of the story, Katie, letting you know if there are any water shutoffs or when that line could reopen. You can always find the latest up-to-the-minute closures and the best detours to get around them. Just go to abc15.com/traffic.